Hello everyone and welcome back to Bike Matters. My name is Brett and today we're doing a full road test review on this beauty. It's the Yamaha MT-03. So yeah, part of their hyper naked range from Yamaha. The MT series is very popular and for good reason. Look at them, they are gorgeous. The whole hyper naked thing's come about because they're not just naked, they're so aggressive and muscular. They've got their own little subsection. So yeah, these are the hyper naked bad boys from Yamaha. If you don't know much about the MT series, it's been about for a while now and there is quite a big range. Starting off with the learner friendly 125cc MT-125, then we have this, the A2 friendly MT-03, then we're getting to the big boys. We've got the MT-07, MT-09 and MT-10. Now this MT-3 that I have for you today takes its foundations really from the Yamaha R3, which is their kind of sports bike in the range, which is A2 friendly. So it's got the same frame, nice and lightweight frame, but also the same 321cc liquid cooled parallel twin 4-stroke engine. That puts out just over 41 brake horsepower at 10,750 RPM and 29.6 Newton meters of torque at 9,000 RPM. So all very respectable numbers as I try to find a gear that's not there. Silly old me. It's late on a Friday and I need to get home. But yeah, so really respectable numbers. Now, A2 license means that it's restricted to 47 brake horsepower. So being just over 41 brake horsepower, it's not a million miles away, but there's some competitors out there that have rival bikes going at 47 brake horsepower. But that isn't everything on this bike, as we're going to go through. Now, let's go on to this mighty fuel tank in front of me. It holds 14 litres of fuel. An average consumption at the moment, I'm getting towards 77 miles per gallon. This is on a press bike. So yeah, 77 miles per gallon, 14 litre fuel tank. We should be getting over 200 miles in range with a full tank, which is pretty good going, I'd say. I think if you ride it really conservatively, you could be in the 80s. So yeah, really nice and economical there. So that's quite good already, I think. It's sporty. But yeah, the fuel economy is there as well, which is great. Nice and economical. Every day, you know, 75 miles per gallon. I think most people would be quite happy with that, especially with how much fun this is. Here we go, we're getting to the dual carriageway, people. Bear with me. I'm not going to go crazy, but we'll do a little run, shall we? Take it down to third. No one's coming. Pin it back. Oh, here we go. Throttle it. There we go. I'm at 70. Easy as you like. So yeah, as you can see, the rev kind of red line's at 12,500 revs. And it does want to go, this bike. It really is set up to rev high. And the gearing is superb. It really allows you to work the gears. You know, top speed I think is going to be about 110, 115 miles an hour. I'm not going to be doing that today because I'm going to enjoy myself and go for this ride and talk to you guys. But yeah, top speed is pretty decent, I think 110, 115 miles an hour. Acceleration though, yes, there's other bikes going to be out there at 47 brake and this is just over 41. But I think it's going to perform exactly as you'd want it to, especially as a young A2 rider. I think this is going to have the exact feeling that you're going for. Now it is a 6-speed gearbox on this, and I have to say I've ridden it a lot and the gearbox is great. I've had no problems with it at all. The clutch is lovely and light. Finding neutral is easy as, rifling through the gears is fine. And yeah, I've just gone really well. This gearbox and clutch is great. I've got no bad words to say about it. Now, the ergonomics have been slightly revised in 2020, with this version that we have today, to make it a little bit neutral. So I have to say it is very comfy. I've spent a lot of hours on this bike, and I have to say, yes, your legs are wrapped in around that fuel tank. It is quite an aggressive stance, but at the same time, it is still nice and neutral. Right now, I am nice and relaxed. My wrists, my arms, my back are all lovely and comfortable. Now I suffer with wrist pain quite a bit when I'm riding a bike, especially low down ones. And I was really concerned how I'd get on with this because I thought, it's sporty, my wrists will be in agony. Not at all. I have had no wrist fatigue or arm fatigue whatsoever. So I'm really pleasantly surprised by just how user friendly this MT is. It really is comfortable, but you know with how it is, it starts, you can really go for it if you want to go aggressive and enjoy those twisties. Now it's user friendly in more than just its seating position. The seat height is 780mm high, that even a short ass such as myself at a mighty 5'6" can get both feet down on the ground really easily. The weight of this thing, wet with a full tank of fuel, is 168 kilograms. You're having a laugh of how light that is. It means on the road, light as a feather, goes exactly where you want it to, with no problems at all. It also means manual handling it. If you've got to move it in your garage or sheds or whatever, it's a piece of piss to move it. It really is. It's so easy to move. The MT can do motorways, not a problem. It can do dual carriageways, yeah, no problem. It'll eat it up. It'll do overtakes above the speed limit if you so wish. But for me, oh, we're about to have some fun. Oh, here we go. Now onto those looks, and I think it's fair to say it's bloody gorgeous. It's one of the best bikes we've had in at BikeMatters for looks. It just looks phenomenal. So aggressive. That front headlight, yes, I know it's going to be slightly kind of Marmite. Some people will love it, some people will hate it. Yeah, I appreciate that. But everyone at BikeMatters and everyone we've shown it to just absolutely loves that front headlight and the MT's looks in general. Those two slit eyes and big circular main beam just give it a completely different look. And it just looks so angry. It's great. The whole design of the MT-03 is radical, isn't it? I know it's been about for a little while now, but it is radical. But that's why it's so different to the rest of the market, and I think that's what the MT does so well. Now, while I'm going to change subject now, the mirrors are so well positioned and so well placed. I've got such great vision what's going on behind me in either mirror, so visibility from them is absolutely fine. Now, new for 2020, they added that LCD display that you can see there. Now, some rival models do have better displays. I'm not going to dispute that, but this LCD panel, I think, is spot on. Yeah, it's no frills. I know it is simple, but it's large. Everything is well positioned, and you just have no problem at all. The speedometer there is large in miles per hour. The rev gauge is easy as to see. There's a gear indicator telling me what gear I've got it in, oil temperature, clock, average consumption. It's all there. So although it's no thrills, this LCD display, and there is better out there, I can't fault it. It just does everything that you need it to. Onto the switch gear. And it's just, again, it's a basic switch gear, but it's good quality. It feels decent to the touch. It doesn't feel like it's going to snap in your hands under the pressure of your thumb. Now, the suspension on this, that upside down front fork and the monoshock to the rear, do a lovely job of just making everyday riding relatively comfortable. The seat itself is a little bit firmer, but still comfy. It's still really comfy, so I can't really complain about that. You know, it's quite short and it puts you in this aggressive stance. So as we're going along here, there's no one about, so we'll put the rear brake on in a second. Here we go, rear brake. There we go. Yeah, it's only a 220 with a single piston, so it's quite subtle braking. It's not mad, but we know at the front we have a 298mm disc with a 2-piston caliper. So we know when we do a brake test now, yeah, there's loads of braking power there. So we've got dual ABS, but yeah, that 298mm disc with a 2-piston caliper is really where it shoves on their force for braking, as you'd expect, and it does a good job of it. Really no complaints there whatsoever. Now, as Colorway Options go, there's 3 choices, and I'm pleased to say, people, I think I'm on the best one. So I believe this is called the Ice Fluo, so it's matte grey and bright red, and it looks awesome. I bloody love it. But there's also a blue option or a black if that tickles your fancy instead. But for me, this matte grey and bright red, whew, does it do it for me? It looks fantastic. So the exhaust on this is just a standard kind of painted black exhaust. I think that might be something that people change, one, visually to make it better with a stainless steel performance exhaust, and 2, to sound a little bit better too. It doesn't sound bad, it definitely doesn't sound bad, but we all know most people are going to throw a custom can on the side, don't you? So if I was to say the good bits and not so good bits about the MT-03, well, there's not a lot wrong with it in my opinion. I think a lot of people will look at the vanity figure and think, well, this puts out just over 41 brake horsepower, but rivals out there put out the 47 brake horsepower limit, and I think some people might be driven by the numbers. So that's a shame. I think if it got to 47 brake, it'd naturally sell more just from people looking at those kind of figures. What else is there? Not a lot really. I think the dash, obviously, to compete against its rivals could be better. TFT, full colour, something like that. Now it does lack some things like a USB port and app integration, but in all honesty, things like that don't concern me too much, and they're a little bit on the trivial side for me personally. Now it does just have a side stand on this, not a centre stand, so that's something to consider. But it's really not a problem, is it? I think most people accept those things. But what are the good? Absolutely everything else. The engine is great on this. It's so much fun. The gearbox is spot on. The gearing, again, just allows you for you to have so much fun. The clutch is light. The bike is very accessible. It's 168 kilograms. The seat is lovely and low. You know, there's an awful lot going for this bike. I wouldn't let the vanity figure of 41 horsepower compared to it not being 47 really put you off. So how much does a Yamaha MT-03 cost you? Well, you can pick one up from your dealer brand new for £5,300. So it is thereabouts. There is some rivals out there a little bit cheaper, only a little bit, but the MT just offers you that little something radical, that little something special. Now our channel here at BikeMatters is powered by Lexham Insurance. They make it possible for us to put out all this content, but they're also moped and scooter insurance specialists that give our viewers in the UK a chance of saving £20 directly with Lexham. So if you click that link in the top right hand corner now, that'll take you through to Lexham Insurance quotation form. When you complete a quotation, it will automatically have had £20 deducted just because you're a BikeMatters viewer. Not bad, eh? Now it's time to wrap this video up, but before you leave us, don't leave me yet, I haven't finished quite yet. If you've enjoyed this video, please give it a like rating. I really appreciate it. If you've got any comments or questions about the MT, put that in the comments section below. If you're not already subscribed to us here at BikeMatters, why not? You've got this far, go on, hit that red subscribe button, ding that notification bell, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.